We've got 5 more heroes to cover, so let's get moving. We've got
Okay.
Yan. So Yan is another one of those heroes Creepy and I kind of both agree about. He was the last really well balanced hero before Nivius. Obviously, he came out a year earlier, but he is extremely well balanced, fits in extremely well with his team, provides a lot of utility. He basically he scores S's all the way across, so he's almost as good as Nivius. Nivius has 1 SS. Um, at least, I mean, that's my rating. So,
Right.
um, but yeah, I mean, he's just all around, provides great utility, provides Shroud to Honorbound heroes, and is it Honorbound in Dark or Honorbound in something? I forget. But um, yeah, he just does fits in great with a lot of teams, especially if you've already got Jin there. Throwing in Yan is a great choice. Putting him in with Dark Heroes is a great choice. Um, all around, just lots of utility and debuffing. Good damage. His S1 is incredible to stop Arya. It's an undodgeable
Yeah.
shield piercing attack that does a whole bunch of damage and then stops evasion for 3 turns. I mean, just poof, so good.
I
So
was about to
yeah,
say, yeah, amazing hero. And his S3 fog gives you not only epic defense and some damage reduction from that. He's got a shield piercing S2. Murky shield is shield piercing. Um, just a fantastic hero, and he's all honor bound. That's for your jams. That's for your Hansuki Dead Eyes. So now you don't need the foresight for the to prevent silence because he's already shrouded your team, and you ain't got to worry about it.
yep,
Great hero.
exactly. So yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of specific things, but he can hang with absolutely the best of them. So
Great.
next is Zulkad. So Zulkad probably could hang at the 1.5 S's. I mean, he provides so much utility, so much damage, so many options. Shield piercing AoE S1, into the pit S3. His S2 is a 3-time hit that is great against like Lily and stuff like that.
Any
He
non-armored gets
Yeah.
3 times
Oh,
hit.
yeah. And it's just, yeah, he just ravages them. Um, becomes fast if you've got a demon on the team, which if you're bringing him, you're probably bringing Arya. He also makes Astrid fast. So does Archon. I mean, there's just so much good about Zulk. Um, you can make him defensive. You can make him offensive. You can rely on his epic, which is really good, or you can rely on festives to get to other stuff later. But the fact that if a demon dies, all of his health is reset to full and all of his abilities become powered means that even if your malice dies, now you're fully powered. And not only is it demons, if it's a fire hero. Um,
So the Solaris.
well, Solaris or anytime Archon sacrifices himself, he gives all of the full health and full energy to Zulk. So ideally, you'd want to have Zulk go before Archon so that he does an ability. Archon then explodes and resets Zulk's stuff. But if you're only using his first ability, you can do it the other way and still get the benefit the next turn when you sacrifice. But yeah, Zulk is a really good hero. Very high damage. I mean, effectively taking heroes out of the fight by putting them into the pit. He can put multiple people into the pit at the same time because of that energy regen and stuff like that. I mean, he's just extremely good hero, good damage, good utility. And I will shut up now and let you talk.
I don't. I actually don't have a lot. A few points. For a while, I made for a long time. For probably spent about 4 or 5 months. I made one of the meta breaking, and the label was Archon with a question mark. It's on my channel, but Zolkdod was actually the key to the team because into the pit puffs team's attack. The incite do it's a 3 times physical physical attack that'll do 3 times damage non-armored. If he kills the target, he sets them down 25% of the entire rest of the remainder of the team. His S1 is AoE piercing attack that can immediately, if he's built offensive, and say you bring a bunch of people with evasion rune, if he gets lucky and scores a hit, you're dead. Fun fact, you're dead,
Yep.
especially if he's ruined offensive. And then
I've watched him wipe teams.
Absolutely, all of us have. And the last thing I'll say about him, 2 things I'll say about him. He's got what's called Demon Hide, so he cleanses. No, Infernal Hide. It's one of the.
Yeah,
anyway,
Infernal Hide.
He
Yeah.
cleanses 3 debuffs. He cleanses 3 debuffs off himself automatically. So even if he's frozen in disease and off balance, as soon as it's his turn, he's fine.
Yep.
And God have mercy if he get haste serenity. And the last thing, he's got a tough skin or a thick skin passive where he takes less damage from melee attacks.
Yeah,
So
and it's not susceptible to armor piercing because even though it has effectively the same effect as armor, it's a different buff, so it doesn't get affected.
So EZ is another one of those extremely well-crafted heroes. Tons of utility. Yeah, I so much good to say about him, but we've pretty much said it all.
Yeah, I mean, effectively, he hasn't changed very much. They did make a few adjustments to him since he came out, but when he first came out, everybody was crying about how tough he was and everything else, but he basically hasn't changed, and a year later, he's still at the S level on the board and still very relevant in one of the top 3 defense or top 3 offenses. So,
absolutely,
yeah, definitely a great hero to use. And next, kind of almost the polar opposite to Zelkod, is Grandar. So I do like the fact that they made Grandar. I mean, he's a turtle, so he's a reptile. I like that they made Sybil a reptile, with being a chameleon. But, I mean, because reptiles are so close to being just awesome right now. So close. And I can't wait until they finally are. They're still usable now, but, I mean, he really kind of enhances reptiles as one kind of thread to all of this. But he really is he's great at fulfilling the tank role. And that's granted, that's all he can do. But he does it well enough to be on the S tier. Debuff reflection, taunting, preventing of disease, and all those other things that, except for silence, he doesn't prevent silence. And that's actually probably Creepy and Mai's fault. We didn't want him to be too overpowered.
It's
but
because we love you guys.
Yeah, we love the game. We want the game to be balanced. So, and at that time, silence was a huge thing. So it really didn't fit. But yeah, he does so much stuff. He's so survivable. He provides so much value. Prevents retaliation, any sort of retaliation strikes, things like that. Yeah, I mean, he's probably 3/4 of an S. He might be borderline an A, but we're rounding up. And yeah, he kind of falls in there. He's great especially against Miko, because you can't be frozen then when you're on a team with him. He makes Zola amazing. I love using Zola with Grandar. Yeah, I mean, just all around solid hero. What do you want to add?
Only thing I'll add to that is, because of his shell power, he's going to reflect back the first debuff that you can apply. So that's your first wound. That's your first disease. But you're not going to freeze anyone. You're not going to shock anyone. You're not going to light anyone on fire. So yeah, that's all great. And the other thing, and I said this earlier, he has an ability called Divine Intervention. And so you target the person on your team with the lowest hit point, defense. Sorry.
Defense, yeah.
With the lowest defense is going to get Divine Intervention. And not even someone with blind eye, not your Shades, your Viperias, your Deadeyes. They cannot target this person.
For as
So
long as Grandar is alive, too.
for as long as Grondar's alive, exactly right. And his S3 will give him the ability to cast that ability again, should
Mm-hmm.
something happen. And so he could just take an obscene amount of punishment non-stop. And so, like, you're facing a Miko team, say, and they got their Miko slot 1. You could literally bring Archon and some warriors. Make sure Archon has the lowest defense. Bring Grondar to the battle and detonate Archon to fight. I mean, because the ice isn't coming. You're not going to be touched. The chaotic bounce is a single target attack that bounces around, so it's not an AOE. And since it's a single target attack, it cannot target the divine intervention to carry. So lots of foresight was put into the crafting of Grondar into the current meta, because you can literally pick people that you don't want to be attacked, and they can't be attacked.
Yep. They can only take AoE damage, exactly. So you could also do the same thing with a Dagon or anything like that as well, or your Serenity, or any of those heroes that you can't afford to lose. So
Exactly.
So moving on, the next hero is Miko. Miko is a water goblin. Right, he's a rogue, right, or is he a warrior? He's a rogue. Duh, it's right in front of me on the screen. Um, he's a legendary rogue water hero. He's a goblin. He has synergies, especially, although the synergies aren't required by any stretch. He has synergies with Bramble. Bramble makes him do more damage, so his S1 is really good. He's a very high utility and fairly good survivability hero. Like, his first ability, actually, a matter of fact, the first column is damage. That needs to go up to an S. Because that first ability actually does go up really high. The utility factor and the synergy factor, well, the synergy factor is probably only an A. But the utility factor is definitely an S. The ability to basically, you can swap a hero out, give them a break. They put a copy of either an opposing hero or a copy of Miko in their place. If that hero dies, then the other one comes back. So it's like an unbreakable heart that can't be broken, or that can't be bypassed. You're saving that hero out of the way. So you could do that with. Well, I don't know if it would. I don't know how it would work. Technically, he's still there on the field, though. So, like, even Alrakis, I think, would still do his end of round thing or whatever. They can do their first ability. I've had somebody blow up or copy my Archon earlier today and blast me with it. I didn't lose the battle, but oh yeah. So yeah, taking my Archon, my 29,000 attack Archon, and shoving him back in my face. Yeah, well, actually, I'm not sure if I think it actually uses the stats from the character that you targeted, but even so, he provides a lot of options. He's kind of like Deadeye in that fact, except that Deadeye's stuff all starts charged or starts loaded, whereas Miko's stuff you need to throw festives on him to make it worth it. So you might be sacrificing in other things, like you might be able to do a lot more damage with his S1 by putting tainted runes or whatever else on him. So, Mike's yours. What do you want to add?
Playing tricks passive. Two things. On a team with Cruel Cream Bramble, he's pretty much honor bound, because if your team with Cruel Cream Bramble, all goblins. If you're on a team with Miko and Bramble, all goblins, all their buffs, ice is strong. Second thing, the first buff that's actually applied to them, they reflect it back as well. So he does for goblins what Grondar does.
Oh, so debuff, not buff, yeah.
Yeah, debuff, sorry. So now, if I go into a battle, say, and he's already silenced him. So I go into a battle versus an Arya and a Jhin. Well, I'm not going to be silenced, so the first debuff applied to Miko should be off balance. But since that's the first debuff applied, Miko's not off balance. Arya. And that is a great ability. A fantastic ability. The thing is, though, quick asterisk to this: if Serenity blocks playing tricks, you're going to be off balance, and then you're going to really suffer.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Just so everyone knows. But great hero.
Yeah. And a lot of fun to use too. I mean, he's one of those where you throw a bunch of festives on him and you can just screw with your opponent's defense. So very, very fun. And then last but not least is the hero that has been able to be at either S or SS for the last like 2 years, maybe longer, is Shade. I mean, there's almost nothing more to really say about Shade. He is the quintessential dungeon boss power hero. He is fast. He got it buffed when spirits got buffed, so he can't be killed first round unless somebody's got shield piercing. He can possess other heroes, which also removes their corpse. He's tough to kill. He's got 5 purple runes, so he's got a lot of options about how you can set him up. He provides Shroud, both from his epic and start of match. And the soul or the lifelink is just absolutely incredible. Like, so much good that he can do. He is just such a fun hero. He's another one that can change the flow of battles and things like that subtly by stopping, like, oh, now all of a sudden my Archon has Soul Link on him, so I'm going to kill my own Archon and not damage Shade, or things like that. There's just a lot that he can do. And I'll shut up now, and it's all on you.
There's really not a lot. You can build this guy as an absolute tank, which I have. You can build this guy with 3 enablers, a shield piercing, and 1 festive. That'll give you the ability to Spirit Link if you need to in round 1 for survivability, or that'll give you ability to pick somebody. For example, if you see a really nice Jhin, most people do not ruin their Jhin's very much defense at all. If you have a 19, 20k attack enabled Shade with a shield piercing rune, I've got good news. You don't have to worry about Jhin anymore because he's going to die real fast. Amazing hero, great for dark heroes, was an absolute staple for me. Whenever like the Archon team was coming around, gave Shroud to Mallet, giving her even more utility. Gives the ability to use so many other. What's her stinking name? What's that other demon? The Charm Demon. I cannot believe. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. That's the first time I've ever forgotten a hero's footsteps.
Are you talking about Ella?
Yeah, no, it is. But that's the first time I have forgotten a hero's name in the middle of talking. Anyway.
So you can use Ella, exactly. You can use it's
Shade is amazing, absolutely amazing. Tons of utility, and once again, you can build him however you want. You can build him as a tank. He's a dang good tank because he's a spirit. He's ethereal. He takes less damage. Oh, by the way, not only is he spirit and takes less damage, now he has Shroud and takes 28% less damage. I mean, he could be a tank. He could be whatever you need him to be.
And technically, if you throw him on a team with Yan, well, actually, no, he won't give. Well, or will he? Won't he give? Yan gives it to dark heroes and honor-bound heroes, right? Give Shroud.
Yan only gives it to Shroud. Shade gives it to
all dark, and then Rayla, or not Rayla, Darius, because they can. Well, okay, you can stack Shade and Darius, or Shade and Yao or Darius will get 2 rounds of Shroud then. Well, actually, technically, Yan would get 4, or 3 or 4, but... So,
Too much.
So anyhow, that is our list of S's, and I was hoping maybe we'd get through S's and then get into A's, but this is already at about 1 hour and 20 minutes, exactly as long as it was last night. So, we'll definitely wrap it up here. We'd love to hear your comments, questions, all of that stuff down there. Please hit the thumbs up button. We put a lot of effort into this and time and preparation and everything like that. So, and go out and check out Creepy's channel. He is on my recommendation from the homepage. So you can go right there and check him out. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. Other than that, just be excellent to each other, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon. Don't forget
like and subscribe to Gravy channel as well. The more people we get watching this, the more people come to Dungeon Boss, the more the people, whenever they type in strategy games or mobile games, kind to each other, guys. I much love Gravy. I'll talk to you later, brother.
All right, take care, everybody. See ya.